We talked about arrays last time. We have a lot more to cover about them. We have multi-dimensional arrays, we got variable size arrays, and so we're gonna try to squeeze those today. So, you have your main program, right? And did I give you an assignment of rainfall?
Yeah.
Alright, so we know an array. We declare type first, right? And then we say what we call the variable. And then we specify the size, right? So in essence, we could do something like this. Something like that, right? Yes.
I'm just wondering if that's the initialization of an array. Do arrays also become initialized?
No, when I do this, the array is empty. And then I have 3 characters, just like 3 regular characters. If I want to initialize an array, when I declare it, I will do it like this. I will not put a size, and then I will do then I initialize it like that. Here it's not initialized, this one is. So if I wanted to print, instead of entering the month number, you want to use month abbreviation. You could do something like this, right? For loop. I will use the character. I could make a function to do just this part, print the month, because all the months are abbreviated like that. But that will, if I want to do the whole year, I could just do February and March like this, right? And make it a little bit easier. If I do it just like this and then assign each variable, that's a lot of copy pasting that we want to avoid. So far so good?
I was like, I see that we're gonna, that the month has to be started with January all the way to December.
What is the question?
Like the month is abbreviated.
I just name them like that. You can call it AAA, AAB, AAC, doesn't matter. That's just the name of the variable. Now, if I want to combine them all in one array, question, how will I do that? Well, if we think of the array, it's just this contiguous amount of memory. In this case, I have 3 characters, right? And the positions are 0, 1, 2, right? And that will be January, and the same thing for February and all that, right? And I have to declare each variable. So what if I just make like a spreadsheet, you know, with all So in other words, this is row 1, 0, 1, 2, until I get to row 11. Yes?
And the array can, the arrays all can be initialized with any month, just this array, with any kind of character.
Why not?
Oh.
So I get this grid. It's like a spreadsheet, and it's contiguous amount of memory. In reality, the RAM doesn't look like a spreadsheet. Reality is just a contiguous RAM. Like that. But we're gonna imagine this broken down into a spreadsheet to make it easier to read. So then we say we got some rows and we got some columns, right? So it would be nice that we can put each character like this. Until you get to December, right? Although the computer is gonna see them like this, all contiguous, all the way to December. So we got this grid, and I would like to initialize it or make a whole array. So how could I do this? Let me erase this for a second. So I call this months, and an array has the square brackets, right? So I want to have an array of arrays. So let me turn that off. So I know I initialize an array with, well, I'm going to run out of space, so I'm going to do it right here with that curly bracket, right? But I'm going to have an array of 3 characters array. So I can do it like this. Put another one inside. And that's the end of my first array. Put a comma. I can separate each element of the array. And I have another array. All the way until I get to December. And till the last one here is.
So it's like one big array.
Yes?
Like It's not just like one long array, it's like big.
Well, basically I allocated 36 characters. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, in this case, my array is squared, if you will.
Oh.
So, you can make your array whichever size you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be square. In this case, let me show you something. So, I think the computer is going to want you to have this here. So, how do I access each element of the array? So if I wanted to print this out,
Print that in the array.
so I will do a for loop. So if I wanted to print the whole array here, I need 2 for loops. Of course, you will not hard code the number 12 or this. You're gonna use, I hope you will use constant or macro. So like this. And how will I access each element of the array? Well, I got the rows and I got columns. So my row 0 to 11, then the column 0 to 2, right? So all I gotta do is and that should print them all. I hope. Let's try it. So, you guys have your compiler open. Let me open it here. Alright, let's see if I can make this work. I'm gonna make part 2. Oh, what did I do? A Windows form? I did a C#. My bad. I'm sorry. Then a new
Squares.
project. And I need C++ console application. Already exists. Okay, let's remove this part. And remove the security checks. and get my main. There. So we're gonna use also, hopefully today, strings. All right, so we had and I said we initialize it like this. Each inner array has to be separated by commas. So I'm going to run out of space here. And I'm doing the long way too, by the way, so you understand what I'm doing. Let's see. I can put all the months. All right, so what I did so basically, the RAM is contiguous, right? And let's see, let's make this a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start here. You know, each character is 8 bits, so what the computer did is allocated 36 times 8 bits. It started at this and it did it like this. Oops. So that's what it looks like in the RAM. If you look at the address, need to start at 1,000. They're all contiguous. There's no space in between, and the computer doesn't know. And the RAM, actually, the RAM doesn't know the difference that it's an array or not. It's just a contiguous space. We say we want to break it into chunks of 3. When you break it into chunks of 3, then you get it like this. Right? And these are my rows. So let me show you something. See, if I print this out, I had it like this. So let's see what it looks like. Print F, character, and I have my array. And at the end, I'm just going to print a new line. So let's print this. So I printed all my months. Let's change the default here. Make the font a bit bigger. I don't know if you can see it. So, if I have multiple arrays, I can have an array of arrays. I could have more than 2 dimensions. Right now it's a 2 dimension, you can have 3 dimensions, you can have a cube. Have you taken linear algebra? Well, you can have unlimited dimensions in an array there. You wish you could have, well, you use your calculator, but you could write a program to do all your matrix transformations. So, let's see if I can trick the computer. Let's see if I can make another one. And I can just do this. Do you think this is going to work? I had a 2-dimensional array. Put it all together. Oh, what did I put a comma there? Sorry. There. So I separated my rows and columns. So each row is another array. The inner arrays are, because it's a square, or rectangle if you will, I have 3 characters of each inner array. This is my inner array. My outer array, I'm going to have 12, however many I have here. So I got the rows and I got the columns, and I can do each element of the array's axis with the coordinates basically. That's what the book tells you. But if the array is like this in RAM, if I start at address 1000, I print that character and I keep adding 8, it should print them all together. Let's see. No, it didn't work. I wonder why. Oh, it's printing the address. I see. Oh, let's take a look here. So here's months. So it's, see the address for each inner array. So this, do a quick watch. All right. Didn't like me. It actually pin out the address. What if I do this? Let's see if I can trick it more. That's how you hack. Oh, look. You kind of printed it. What's happening in there?
It's a new one.
Why is it printing all this garbage? And then February, and then all the garbage. And then March, and all the garbage. And April, and all the garbage, and keeps going. Until it hits December, and prints more garbage at the end. That's what I wanted to get at. See, I changed the printf to an S instead of a C. C means character, it prints one character. S is a string. And a string is an array of characters. But the computer doesn't know where the string ends. So what it's trying to do is figure out how big your string is. So in your homework, okay, this one didn't work. I'm gonna comment it out and then I'll explain to you string when we come back. You can do something like this. Right, and then here put your scanf for the actual
Basic speed.
or the actual value. Well, all 2L, and then it'll look better than enter the month 1, or I mean you could use a switch statement. You print the actual month name. But then you can figure out in your, when you figure out which months had the greatest or the lowest rainfall, you're supposed to give me the month, not the value. You know, I want to know, oh, February is the month with most rain. No, there's a month with 10 inches of rain, which that never happens here, right? I don't understand why there's no rain collectors around the water reservoirs. Anyways, any questions here? So I'm trying to pave the road for strings and understand how they work. That's why I wrote it the long way. And this helps me with the multi-dimensional arrays. We're going to talk about jagged arrays, which means the inner arrays don't have to be the same size. And we also gotta know, for instance, if you're a programmer, you need to learn databases. Unless you're really, really good at game programming, it's hard to find a job if you don't know how to do databases. And one of the things in databases is a field. A field is just, for instance, last name is a field in a table, and you say the last name is going to be 30 characters long. But all of a sudden you get somebody from, I don't know, Scotland married to an Irish person or a Polish person has 200 characters long. Then you run out of space. How do you resize it? Well, we're going to see that after the break.